Then there are also things called managed services for WordPress, which are basically they do the hosting and domain stuff for you, but it's not quite the same as building in the CMS the way you will with these kind of platform oriented software as a service SaaS tools that we're going to be looking at today. So it's just WordPress itself is free, but then you have to pay for the hosting and the managed services. The advantages of all of these rather than self-hosting is that websites need to be updated on the back end all the time. Software goes out of date, new standards are adopted. Basically, security always needs to be upgraded because people find weaknesses and hacks and exploit them and what have you. And actually, one of the reasons that my last website fell off the internet is because I hadn't been updating the security, because it takes a lot of time. And then sometimes when you update the security, then all the other software on your website that you've used, your plugins and things, break. We'll talk about the disadvantages of WordPress, but that's kind of one of the disadvantages of WordPress is that you're always updating your software. You're always updating all of your plugins and making sure that everything is working together. There are services that you can add for 10 or 20 bucks a month where they will update those plugins and security, especially for you. But yeah, and Wix and Squarespace and Webflow, they take care of all that as well. But the difference is with using managed services, you're still hosting on something that is independent of a platform. You are using software on top of another service. With these software as a service platforms like Wix, Squarespace, and Webflow, you are only using Wix software. You are only using Squarespace software, and you are limited to the apps and features that they have within the software and within the platform. So if they don't have what you need immediately, then they don't have it. Whereas with WordPress, people have been building WordPress plugins for forever. If there's like a feature that you want or a customization that you want to make, WordPress, you can find a plugin, you can do some research, and WordPress can handle that. The websites we're looking at today, I don't believe any of them have outside apps to install. They are all really contained in their own ecosystem. When you host with them, you are buying their server also, and you are buying you can have a domain name on top of it, but you are basically stuck with using all of their services. And so there's a lot less customization. It's kind of like Mac versus PC. What we're looking at today are more of the Mac options where everything comes out of the box versus a PC or like a Google phone or Android phone where there's more customization available, but it's also a little less out of the box. So you have a little more configuring to do on your own. So anyway, that's the difference between managed services and kind of the more self-hosting route versus what we're going to look at today. These are all self-contained sites. So if they don't have the features that I need, then they don't have the features that I need.